Hey everybody, it's Chanthamontry back again with Opus Gaming. I'm here with our first deck profile from our teammates at top for this past weekend's Ultimate Cup. This is going to be James's Dorbickmon deck. This is something we've been playing on the channel for the past couple videos, so we're just going to get straight into the deck profile. Towards the end is when we're going to talk about like the matchups. We're going to talk about kind of the card choices throughout, but at the end is kind of when we're going to dig deep into kind of the choices. So, James, if you want to start off with your eggs as usual, which ones did you choose to play today?
All right, I have 4 Digimons.
Okay.
It's the one that lets you draw if you go in the gallant line. Just 4 eggs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just 4 eggs. Okay, that makes sense. Is there an egg that you think that you would play instead, or another one that you think that you would want to add, or is just the?
Maybe Miramon, the one you swing at player, you gain like 1k.
Okay.
But I feel like 4 eggs is fine. You really don't need more.
Did it ever come up during the tournament where you wanted to play a 5th one at all or anything?
No.
Okay.
Not even against security control.
Okay.
Like, it just
awesome.
never came up.
Yeah.
After that, starting with rookies, we run the 4 Gilmons, the draw when attacking.
Okay.
This deck wants you to have a lot of cards in hand, and this is the best way to get there.
Yeah, I've noticed a lot of cards that you play like either cycle, so when you put them on the board, they end up with another card in your hand, or they cycle out the same amount of cards in your hand. So if you have to discard one, you'll still draw 2, and so end on without negging cards in hand ever.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. This paired with Digimon, you draw 2 cards. It's really nice.
Definitely.
Continuing the Gilmons, we run 2 of the starter ones. The Warp Digibot never happens, but it's sometimes nice when you draw a card when you pop. But otherwise, it's just another Gilmon.
Okay. And for the Gilmon line, I know that those guys can go underneath Dorbick, right? That's why you play that.
No,
oh,
not the regular Gilmons.
Okay.
Yeah, they're reptiles, unfortunately.
Oh, that is unfortunate.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we play that many Gilmons because we do run Gilmon X, who is Dark Dragon.
Okay.
Works under Dorbick.
For sure.
Yeah. Pops things you can draw when you pop with this. Otherwise, I mean, you still get a draw when you Digivolve over anyway. So like you're still getting your 2 draws after you swing with it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's that. And then for other rookies, I do run 2 Agumons. This one is a dinosaur. Most Agumons are reptiles. So this works well for Dorbick.
Okay.
And an extra 2k is always nice.
Definitely. That makes sense.
And then for not red rookies, I run 4 Blancs.
Yeah, you love the Blanc. How did that perform? And what's the reason for playing the Blanc?
Draw 2, pitch any card that you don't need, whether it's a duplicate name or an option that is not relevant to the matchup.
Okay. So you just play it because it's a draw card?
You're seeing 2 more cards. Plus, what I do a lot with this deck is I just chip with everything I have, and then Dorbick ends the game.
Okay.
So it's nice to have something like this over Fireball where you can swing with it after. Yeah.
Okay.
And then after that, we run for 4s, 3 Growlmons. This is when you pop, you gain a memory.
Yep. That makes sense. And I know he does fit for the Dark Dragon for Dorbick, right? He's a target.
He's a target. Also, weird situations where you're just desperate for draws and you're digivolving up more. He'll still draw when you swing with the GG egg.
Yeah, for sure.
So it helps. And then tying with that, we do have 2 Growlmon X. Just another target name, another egg potential swing.
Yep.
Yeah.
What does he do?
Just increases the chance to pop by 1k more.
Okay.
For like things that say pop X amount or less. Yeah.
For DP based delusion effects? Yep. Okay.
Other than that, continuing line of things that work under Dorbick, I have Greymon, who's a dinosaur.
Okay, that makes sense. I didn't realize that he was a dinosaur. I assumed he was one of the dragon types, but
yeah, Greymon is always great to see when it's in security. It's another target. It can pop things. Yeah.
How was it in the tournament? Did you ever see him in security? Did he ever get you games? Like, what was it like playing the card?
He came up a few times.
Cool.
Sometimes non-consequential. One time came in super clutch. Played against Bloom Lord. They swung all my security. Final one was Gray. Popped their level 4. They had no place to continue. They had no security left, so on my turn to swung for game.
Yeah. I mean, those same sort of things come up. Yeah, I know that's super important to know because I know that a lot of times when you're looking at deck profiles, some points are contentious, and where you're like, oh, I would just play 3 of this, but playing 4 of you think was really important, just in the ratios for the amount of times that you saw it in security.
You just want to see it in security.
Yeah.
So he's like the only one that I have up to 4. Generally.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Continuing with weird ratios, I have 2 Flarizamons.
Sweet.
And then 1 Flame.
Okay, what do those cards do?
All targets, again for Dorbick. This lets you DNA Digivolve. It comes up sometimes. It's a little cheeky. You tend to do it against slower decks. So I did it with Security Control. I naturally did it against Melgo once, but that's just because I had it in hand. But like you would want it for Security Control. You'd want it for like yellow-red hybrids, the slow decks where you can safely do it.
Okay.
And then our final level 4 is...
How about the Flarazimon? What does that card do?
When you swing with a Dragonkin or Dinosaur or whatever, I don't remember the thing, you just draw an extra card.
Okay, so it's just more draw like the earlier cards where you got more draw engine.
I do have 2 Greymons, the
Sweet.
black one. That one gives you blocker of your red. It comes up with Dobrik sometimes, otherwise I also run some other 6s where it's relevant.
Okay.
Alright, going into 5s, I do run 3 Volks. That one lets you draw when you swing as a Dragonkin or other stuff that's relevant.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I can't remember
you
the
swing
stuff.
when you're Dorbrick.
It lets my 6s draw,
Yep.
basically. This one is Lava Greedamon. I run 3 of those. Yeah. Gives you memory back when you make Dobrik. Dobrick's the only one in my deck that's that inherit was relevant for.
Yeah. Do you combo it with any other cards? Like when you're going into a stack, are there any other cards that make it really strong?
Not this one particular, but
Okay.
I did hard drop it once to pop somebody who
No,
was.
for sure.
I think I popped like a Madoki Betamon with it.
Question. So with Lava Greedamon, since its effect inheritable is all turns, if you drop your Dorbickmon and you have that Tech Greymon that you have and you use it to block something on your opponent's turn, that forces them to lose a memory, correct?
Yeah.
Yep, so that's a pretty cool combo that you can use those 2 cards together for.
Yeah.
So,
All right, and then other than that, I have 2 Jazza something Mon. Yeah.
I love that card. I play Hina Link, so I mean both those 2 cards are fantastic level 5s. I like seeing them in the pure Dorbrick deck. They're strong.
Only relevant with my Dorbrick for a 6. And then there's one Savior Huckmon.
Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes I do Digivolve into it and play Sister for free.
Yep.
And then there was like a couple of times where you tuck it under Dorbrick.
Yep.
And then if Sister somehow is alive, you will swing twice.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. Yeah, that's a pretty cool combo because honestly, you could even like Digivolve into it just to play out the Sistermon. And then if you have enough, you swing with the Savior. If he lives, you then just use him as a target for your Dorbrick to swing twice that turn. So that's sweet.
Yeah, and really it's just another name. This deck, it has like odd ratios because I just want to see so many unique names. Because you need it for Dorbrick, who I run 4 of. Yeah, he, unlike things like Machine Dramon where they just care about like different numbers, he specifically needs different names.
Okay.
So you can't run like a Greymon, Black 1, Greymon, Security +1, stuff like that. So that's why the ratios are all goofy.
Yeah, for sure. That's why you have like the Growlmon, but then you have the Growlmon X because those are technically 2 different names. That makes sense. You can't play like 2 Volcanic Dramon. It's not like you can play the Security Check +1. So I can see that also helping out with some of the 1-ups too when you do see those odd combinations of cards.
Yeah, and then for the other 6s that are just in here, I run 1 Black War Greymon and 1 Guilemon.
Okay.
Yeah. So Black War Greymon does things that's pretty good. He will proc, gaining memory when he pops a Digimon.
What does Black War Greymon do? Just for like the general effect?
Yeah. So if you Digivolve and you have a black source, you can pop Tamers. If you have red sources, you can pop Digimons.
Okay, cool.
So it's relevant here. I have a couple black Digimons that he can go over and then sometimes take care of a Tamer. Otherwise, yeah, he's there for that. He's also there for the DNA Digivolve, which I do with Flame Dramon. And same thing with Guilemon. Guilemon can also blitz, which is really nice too. But honestly, they're really just there for when you build that 1 stack up.
Definitely.
Which happens sometimes. Yeah.
I really like that's a really unique package to include in the deck for sure. I'm gonna adjust this one so they can see properly. But,
all right.
Nice. Okay. And then what's our next level 7?
The only 7 is just the 1 Ragna. Like
Cool,
I said, the combo is nice, but it's never really needed unless you're playing against Security Control or some slower deck.
What are some ways that you did do the combo, just so anybody looking to build the deck can kind of know what the reason for all the different choices?
If you see the cards, you build a lineup with your Black War Greymon or your Guilemon.
Okay.
And then you hard drop Dobrik with a flame under it. And then when you pass turn, you will DNA into Ragna.
Cool. So you prefer to do that. That's something I was wondering about. You prefer to did you evolve a line earlier in the game, or kind of as the game progresses with your Black War Greymon, your other level 6, and then you play the Dorbickmon as your kind of like either turn passer or just kind of once you have accumulated cards in your hand, as opposed to just hard playing the Dorbrick and then being like, okay, now I have 0 memory or 2 memory if you're starting with a lot, and hard playing a level 6 and putting them to 10.
Yeah, sometimes that happens, but it's generally a lot easier when you make the line and you play Dobrik for like 3 memory.
Cool. Yeah. I know that I was when I first played this deck, when I first built it, when we were testing, that's something I did was I tried to hard play the Dobrik and then just play another Mega right away after, and then like putting your opponent at so much memory just isn't worth it. So I like to see that you facilitate like the Digivolution sources and things to Digivolve up and raising safely and then make a really explosive play. So that's pretty cool.
But yeah, I only ever climb up the line if I open one of these and like a 5 and I see Ragnar early. Otherwise, the main strategy is swing with the little ones and just keep swinging and chipping until you see Dobrik, and then Dobrik finishes game.
Yep.
So made Ragnar twice in the entire tournament.
Okay, for sure. He's kind of just there for like a safety measure, but it's good to have a level 7 just because, I can see where it's useful.
Yeah. And then other than that, I don't run any tamers, but I do run a couple options. I run 1 fireball. I wanted to figure out how to up that without knocking consistency too much, and there's room to debate there, but fireball's really good and I probably should run more.
Okay. I will, that's the first thing I thought of was like, why only 1 fireball? Because it is a +1 to your hand, right? You play 2 memory, but you do draw 2 cards, and in the deck we're searching for cards. But I can see it just being kind of a room thing where the deck is really tight, because at the end of the day, you need Digimon, you don't need options, right?
Part of the reason why I was at 1 was I played 2 red memory boosts, and I figured digging 4 deep for Dobrik was better than drawing 2 sometimes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and then having the memory to extend your plays so you can actually do Dobrik without passing turn is nice.
Cool.
And then the card I could cut to add more fireballs was 2 Crimson Blaze.
Looking at this meta though.
I was expecting more Bloom Lords and even Jesmons, and I came across 2 Bloom Lords, and Crimson Blaze did wonders there. But other than that, if the meta is just going to be a bunch of Malga, I'll probably just cut Crimson Blaze, maybe turn it into a Gaia Force and another Fireball or something like that.
Okay, for sure. Now that we're at the end of the main deck profile, if you made it this far, if you guys want to like and subscribe to the channel and drop any comments on anything that you guys have questions of, we're gonna get kind of like deeper into the deck profile. So first of all, let's talk about how you did in the tournament. What was your final record, and how did you place in the tournament? It's gonna be in the title of the video. But
I went X2 and I ended up 19th.
Awesome. I mean, that's a fantastic showing. You made top 32 is the kind of the cutoff, but you're in the top 20 players that played in that tournament, so that's fantastic, especially with this deck that I think a lot of people would look at this and say that it's a rogue choice, right?
Yeah.
I don't think I saw anybody put this into like their high tier list and things like that when they were looking at EX3 releasing. So, first of all, what were your matchups like?
Round 1 was Security Control. That was 2-1.
Okay.
Round 2 was Malga. That was 2-0. Round 3, I 2-0 Bloom Lord. Round 4, I lost to Malga 1-2. I couldn't find Dobrik in time for games 2 and 3. Round 5 was 2-1 against Armor. Round 6 was against kind of a mirror match. It was another Dobrik player, but with a completely different engine.
Okay.
So that was really cool. Round 7, I 2-0 Bloom Lord. And then round 3, I lost 1-2 to Melga again.
Okay. Yeah. Fair. So only losses to Melga. Melga won the tournament. That's not a bad tournament run. So I mean, how are you feeling about this deck for the remainder of the format? Let's just talk about the remainder of the format. Is it something you can continue to play competitively? No problem.
Yeah. Honestly, Melga is a decent matchup for this deck. Probably should put it in Gaia Force. But if you survive the initial onslaught that they do, and then they put their Melga X on the field, Dobrik answers it, and then you just continue to do what you were doing. Yeah, if they bounce cards back to your hand, that's great because you just use it for Dobrik anyway. So like you don't have a bad matchup against them. I just felt like I couldn't find Dobrik in time against those matchups, and that's kind of what cost it.
Is there anything that you do have a bad matchup against that you feel like you just don't want to see?
I want to say Gaiomon and Black War Greymon, but I never got to come across them to test the matchup. I feel like in theory, that match should be hard because they have protection from you deleting things.
It's a little bit harder to kind of get into their Digimon. I totally believe that.
I thought Armor Rush would have been pretty annoying, but it was actually manageable.
Yeah, I believe it because you have a lot of free pops, right? So if you've been burning your free pops on getting that armor out of there, and then you can kind of like swing into things and control the board. I can see that being pretty strong for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any, I know we've kind of gone over this, but is there anything that you for sure would change just kind of after this tournament? Is there anything that was just like useless that's for sure coming out? Are you keeping the Ragna even though you only used it a couple times?
Yeah, I want to keep it. Like I said, it's there for the slower matches. Ultimate Cup we had mulligans, and if I was playing into Malga and I opened Ragna, I was just gonna mulligan it away because I was like, I don't need it. Yeah. So
No,
it's
for
fine.
sure.
Yeah.
If you open it too early, no, I totally like that. And then are you looking forward to anything to not only just like add to this deck, but like looking at the future meta? Everybody's kind of looking at Black War Greymon X coming out. With the next set and things like that. Is this something that you're going to be looking for? Because we're only one set away from our nationals choices for decks and things like that.
Yeah. So BT Lovin is what, in February?
Something like that.
That's so far away.
Yeah.
So I don't know much about it yet, and that's fine. But speaking of that one mirror match with the other guy who was playing Dobrik, I kind of like his idea, and I'm gonna mess around with his deck. He built a whole line of Black War Greymon and Gaiomon in raising, comes up, swings, and then proceeds to make Ragna.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense because it's a lot of damage. If you can go into a Gaia or a Gaiomon and check 2 and then evolve something, whatever, and then
he trashes 3 with Ragna and it just swings for game. It's really funny and it's ridiculous, but it looked a lot of fun.
All right, so that's the change that you would make. All right, well, thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time to show us your deck profile, and congratulations on a 19th place finish. That is fantastic. So super, super proud of you, my man.
Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, you guys, this is Jamonster with Opus Gaming, and I'm going to be out of here. Take care.